With breaking news from the NBA, because Chris Paul is heading back to Los Angeles, the veteran point guard agreeing to return to the Clippers for what is expected to be his final season. CP3 previously spent 6 years with the Clippers, leading the team to its most successful stretch in franchise history. Paul ranks second in NBA history in both assists and steals. He played last season, if you remember, with the Spurs. So including the signing of the veteran and Chris Paul, it's been a very busy offseason for the Clippers. LA also signed free agents Bradley Beal, Brook Lopez, and acquired John Collins in a 3-team trade. The Clippers also re-signed star James Harden to a 2-year deal worth $81.5 million. Let's say hello to NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins, who's with us now here on SportsCenter. And Perk, give me your reaction to Chris Paul joining the Clippers.
Well, one, Shay, is not breaking news. It's just NBA news, right? Chris Paul
days of summer here, Perk. We're doing what we can, you know?
Right. Right. Chris Paul signs with the Clippers on a vet minimum. Solid pickup for the Clippers as far as him coming in and being a backup point guard. He's one of the greatest floor generals to ever do it. Now you add him to this veteran roster that's going to compete at the highest level, well-coached team. They have a lot of good pieces on this team, and they're gonna be in the thick of things. They're gonna be a top 8 team in the Western Conference, but we know what CP3 brings to the locker room, an extension of Ty Lue, his leadership, being able to play off the ball. We saw his stint in Golden State playing alongside Steph Curry. And so, yes, they do have a nice veteran roster, but they still have a lot of questions.
Nice veteran roster with a lot of ages that start with the number 3 and now one that start with the number 4. I'm just going to point that out. Obviously, as you see on that full screen, the Clippers made a bunch of additions this offseason. We just talked about it. ESPN Bet had their title odds at 33-1 when the season ended. Now they're at 16-1 now, though. How do you view the Clippers in the conversation of maybe championship contenders?
I don't. This is an old folks home right now, nursing home, in my opinion. When you look at them, when you look at the league, everybody is getting young at the wing position. That's the most important position in the NBA when it comes down to be able to defend at a high level. I understand going get Bradley Beal, Chris Paul, you got James Harden. But again, those guys are great when it comes down to being offensively good, but defensively, you're going to have to get stops, especially in the stacked Western Conference when you got elite perimeter play all across the board. And so when I look at the teams that I feel like are better than them, the Rockets, the Thunder, the Nuggets, even the Lakers right now with the additions that they added, I just see this team having a really good regular season and being a tough out in the postseason, but not legit title contenders in my eyes.
When you mentioned the team that just won the championship in the Thunder and a team like the Rockets, I mean, outside of Kevin Durant, these are two very, very young squads. Very different, I guess I'll say, in terms of the Clippers with their age difference. Kendrick Perkins, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Hall of Famer Chris Paul is signing a 1-year, $3.6 million deal with the Clippers. That's per multiple reports. It'll be a reunion for CP3 and the Clippers, where he played from 2011 to 2017 and is the franchise's all-time assist leader. Paul spent last year with the Spurs and averaged just under 9 points and 7.5 assists per game. He currently has the second most assists in NBA history, trailing only John Stockton. He will be entering his 21st NBA season and just turned 40 years old in May. But the ride is not over for Chris Paul, and we are not done talking about it. We now bring in our NBA expert, Sam Quinn. And Sam, if this is, in fact, the final year for Chris Paul playing in the NBA like we expected it might be, a return to the Clippers just seems fitting. Are you surprised at all that it was LA and the Clippers that he decided to play with?
No, this has kind of been trending in that direction for quite some time. I think they were waiting to settle up with Bradley Beal first. You know, they wanted to make sure they knew what kind of role they were going to have for him, but he's going to slot very nicely into that backup point guard role. They're one of the deepest teams in the NBA. They might not even have minutes for Bogdan Bogdanovic anymore. So I think this is a really nice situation for him and for the team. They have a lot of older players. That depth is going to be really, really helpful over the course of the 82-game season. And he said before free agency began, his priority was to be close to his family back in LA. His family has been in LA since he left the Rockets. He's been all over the country playing for Phoenix, for Oklahoma City, for San Antonio. I think this is a fitting way to end his career if that's indeed how it happens. He goes back to the team where he probably had his best years. He gets to be near his family. It would have been fun if it would have been the Lakers, him and LeBron finally linking up. But I don't think that really made basketball sense given the way their roster was constructed. The Clippers could actually really use a backup point guard. So I think this is a good fit all around.
Yeah, 6 seasons for Paul with the Clippers, 5 of those All-Stars, 5 of them All-NBA selections. So, of course, all the Lob City, all the fun times that we remember when he was with the Clippers. Now running it back again, what can we really expect to see with him from what he has left in the tank? Granted, he did play all 82 games last year with the Spurs.
He started all 82 games for the Spurs, right? He wasn't even just some bit player. It's funny, at players of that age, you sort of expect them to go ring chase, right? Go play 5-8 minutes a game on a championship contender. Chris Paul wanted to play, and I think that was a big part of his decision here. He's going to be the primary backup point guard for the Clippers. You figure he's going to play 15, 20 minutes a game. I think the Clippers, like a lot of the best teams in the NBA, most notably the Thunder, have realized that over an 82-game slog with the sport as intense as it is now, you want to be able to play 10, 11 guys. You want to be deep. You want to keep your guys fresh for the playoffs. So I think he's going to play around 20 minutes a game. I think he's going to be very useful in that role. The Clippers have a little bit of everything now, right? They can go big, they can go small, they can play offense-centric, they can play defense-centric. They can put whatever sort of lineup Chris Paul needs around him. I think they put him in a pretty good position here to go out as not just, the guy deep on the bench on the winning team, but as a real contributor even into his 40s.
So what do you make of this Clippers roster right now as constructed? Because they have been busy this offseason. They have Brad Beal now. They have Brook Lopez. They also have John Collins. So you see this team and what they've done. What type of noise can they make in the West?
Right now, I have them as a strong 4th in the West, right? Last year, they pushed Denver to 7. Denver pushes Oklahoma City to 7. That suggests that they're pretty close, right? Maybe not as close to Oklahoma City, but they have a chance. And they've improved pretty substantially. The 2 big problems last year were backup front court and backup back court, right? Now they get Chris Paul and Bradley Beal to address the offense when James Harden goes to the bench. They get Brook Lopez and John Collins really fortify the front court. They have everything.
Lose some games to injury, but they won 50 with Kawhi missing like half the year last year. So I don't know if they're quite as good as the Thunder, the Nuggets, or the Rockets, but I think they're within the margin of error where they could push those teams in the series. And if they stay healthy, I think they could be near the top of the Western Conference in the regular season.
Yeah, here we are in July, and I'm already looking forward to October because of all the movement we have seen in this offseason that likely is not even done yet. Sam Quinn, thank you so much as we talk about Chris Paul and his reunion with the Clippers headed over to LA. And there you'll find the Clippers sitting at 17-1 for the odds to win the NBA title, and that's behind teams in the West, which is the Thunder, Rockets, and Nuggets. So maybe Sam's spot on saying he has them as 4th best in the West. Chris Paul, back to LA.
Các bạn sẽ ngấp sang cái phần bên chân này cho mình